Hey everybody, it is July 7th and we are just unfortunately a little bit past peak flower. We haven't had a really good day to get out here and do any video when we've been at peak flower, but we're pretty close now, so we're still going to go around and have a look. We got some pretty good looking flowers going on at the moment. The main thing where you're going to see this time of year that's the most impressive is all of the hostas along the hill here. All of these green hostas we have are blooming at the same time, and we just have this entire hillside of purple flowers, so that's pretty impressive. But our butterfly bush is blooming. We've got hydrangeas in bloom right now. The purple cone flowers down here are all blooming. We've still got a little bit of foxgloves going on. The missus got out here and cut all the dead heads off the first wave of foxgloves, so now we're getting a little bit of a secondary wave from the regrowth. You can see we got a few over here, and then of course all of the planters my wife puts together every year are looking really good. One of the prime specimens, I was going to do this as a standalone video, is this Stargazer lily here. This is absolutely stunning. It is gorgeous and it is amazing. You can smell it across the yard. It still has quite a few flowers left to go on it, but these come and go pretty quickly. We'll only get a few days out of this and it'll be gone, so I definitely wanted to come out here and get some video. Again, I may do just a standalone quickie video of this by itself this afternoon with the sun shining on it, but that is a Stargazer lily. If we come up here on the hill as best I can, you can see these big yellow lilies. We'll see some of them closer as we get into the driveway area, but the hydrangea up there is in full bloom. We'll be seeing that again from the top side when we walk around. But we have these creamy yellowy white daylilies blooming. We have these really pretty sort of yellowy orange cone flowers. I really like those a lot. This is a little bit of native St. John's wort starting to flower. Of course, all of our roadside orange daylilies are passing by. More hydrangeas, that's new from last year. I don't know what these weeds are. I know it's a weed, but I really like them. I think the plant structure itself is really interesting. And then they have these really dainty little 5-petaled purple flowers on them that I think are just gorgeous. Again, very dainty. Again, you know, fingertip size flowers. So we got the white cone flower, and of course more of the blooming hostas and everything. So if we come over towards the house, we've got our rudbeckia. That is the black-eyed Susan, the Maryland state flower. Got some milkweed going on. We got some impatiens that are coming up. Lots and lots of salvia will be blooming soon. Here's one of these wild impatiens. That's what these look like when they actually get to blooming. And we'll see a bunch more of them all through there. So we still got a lot of blooming left to go, but this is probably the most bang for your buck time of the year that we can get. We got the most stuff in bloom at once right now. These salvia are called black and blue for fairly obvious reasons. Really like these black and blue salvia. So they start out with a black flower bud, and then as they open up into that vibrant, beautiful blue. So here's some of the buds that are in a little bit of sunlight. They look like they've dead and gone past, but those are actually flower buds. They haven't even opened up yet. They'll open up into those beautiful blue flowers you see there. So black and blue salvia is one of our favorites. As we turn around, we got some, you know, fair amount of the roadside orange daylilies still in there. Our tiger lilies have not yet started to go. The tiger lilies are going to be the ones that look like this. And we have these all over the place. And these are little tiny ones. These are only from a year or two ago. They spread like crazy and they get huge flowers all over them. So I like them. They're a little bit on the invasive side because they spread so readily. But we'll deal with it. Also, if we look up, you'll notice all our Rose of Sharon is in bloom. Now, we don't get a ton of sun, so we don't get the thick, lush, bushy flowers like a lot of people do on the Rose of Sharons. But we do get a fair amount of them. And we have the Rose of Sharon's pretty much bordering the driveway. So you can see the flowers all the way down the driveway. We've got them all across the front of the house. We have them all across the top of the hill. So we have a lot of the Rose of Sharon, which is a type of hibiscus. So we have hibiscus flowers everywhere. Of course, we look down the driveway, you can see all the hostas are in bloom. We'll have later blooming hostas on this side, but we do have some hostas in bloom over there right now. And then, of course, once the afternoon cools down a little bit, we're going to be going out on the kayak this afternoon. And the driveway garden, or whatever we would call this area, is looking pretty good. Not a lot of flowers going on here at the moment. This is another one of our fairly new hydrangeas. That's looking good. It's not blooming at the moment, but another new hydrangea right here is looking good. We have a groundhog that comes out of the woods over there somewhere and comes up, and he grubs on stuff in here, and there's some stuff that's been damaged and whatnot. So that should be a little prettier than it is at the moment, but everybody's got to eat, I suppose. So we get over to this side of the yard, and this is where we're going to start sort of letting it fill in. We're going to be plugging hostas, and again, these are those lilies I was just talking about. You can see how they're just coming up in a huge cluster. They just drop those little black balls everywhere. These little bulbs you can see all down the stems are bulbs, and every single one of them will grow into a new plant. And when they just fall off of it into a big pile, you just have them coming up in clumps like that by the hundreds. So this side of the yard is the side we're trying to just basically fill this whole area in, so we don't have to worry about mowing it. And eventually we'll start working our way back over this way, because we just don't do anything with all of this yard. And I would much rather have it gardens and flowers and, you know, just a few walking paths, a few areas I can ride the lawn tractor around in to keep them open. This is one of my favorite hydrangeas this year. Really, really striking blue color. Love that one. We come up and around this way. This is another one that's really, really vibrant blue. Love this one. And from here we can look down a little bit, and you can see these red flowers are our bee balm. They're starting to go. More Rose of Sharon blooming here. None of all of these hostas back through here were planted by us. They just got back there, and so we've just left them there, and now I don't have to mow all this area. So it's kind of tough to get to. I'll walk around the front. I'm in my slippers as usual. I'm walking on these hills in my slippers is not exactly safe, but I do want to show you those daylilies right there. So let's walk around. And this garden over here, we don't have a lot of flowers in that garden, so we'll save that for another video, a little standalone video by itself, and we'll stick to the sort of flowery part of the yard today. That was my goal. So we have got these beautiful yellow ones, but if you look back here, we have these really pale salmon colored ones. I'm not even sure where we got these, but I really, really like those a lot too. They're really pretty. But these yellow ones, those are just, again, if I could get up there and put my hand near it, they're just huge daylily flowers. And then when you look down this way, you get a better idea what I'm talking about with all of just the hillside covered in purple with a few little splashes of color here and there mixed in with it. So up here, all these white flowers you see are gooseneck loosestrife. And if we come down and we get a nice little profile look at some of the flower heads, you will quickly see why it's called gooseneck loosestrife. But the flowers are actually supposed to look like that. They curl over in those little goose head shapes. I think they're kind of neat, but this is another one that is fairly invasive. You can see how it's just sort of spreading everywhere. The only reason it doesn't come out beyond this is because I mow it. Another hydrangea. And again, we don't have a whole lot going on over on that side of the yard flower wise, and to keep the video at a reasonable time length, we'll do that as a separate standalone video. Maybe tomorrow or the next day I'll try to get out here. So we'll wrap it up by coming around Let's have one quick look down here. We try every year. We get very little solid sun in the yard, but down here is like the sunniest little sort of area. You can see how beat up that poor hydrangea is looking because of the sun pounding on it right now. But I try not to mow across this edge, and we throw wildflower seeds in there every year, and we get some that come up, but we're not really successful with it. This here is some type of wildflower. I'm not even sure what that is, but this is the one we've so far had the most success with. We have one big flower come up, and that is a bee balm, and it is this beautiful pale purple bee balm, which I've never seen before. And oh, I forgot to show you the other bee balm I do want to show you. So you saw the red one. Now this is a very light purple one. And if we come back up to the side of this area, we have some that are raspberry colored. And these are my favorite. It's not really probably going to come out exactly color for color on my camera here. But these two right here are raspberry colored, and they're really, really cool. Those are my favorite of the bee balm that we have. It smells amazing, even just touching it and handling it. It's called balm for a reason. If you've never experienced bee balm, you really should. It's a wonderful plant. Good pollinators love it. The flowers are amazing looking. They're like little fireworks going off. And then of course the plant itself is amazingly fragrant and has that balming sensation to it when you enjoy it. So all right everybody, there you go. There's a little bit of look at peak flower. And we'll end up here with this amazing stargazer lily. Yeah, I can still smell that balm on my fingers just from touching it like that. All right everybody, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. See you real soon in the next one.